I'm often asked what are good hikes in the Lake Tahoe region for active seniors. Hike maybe 5, 6, 7 miles long that gets up into some beautiful high country. Well, in this video, I try to recommend about a half dozen hikes. So if you're an active senior who likes a hike around 6 miles long, maybe 1,000 vertical feet of climbing, maybe at about 7,000 or 8,000 feet of elevation, but you don't really want to go on a 15-mile death march and you want decent conditions, well, I've got 6 hikes I'd like to recommend to you. And hopefully your questions about those hikes, their length, and their conditions will be answered by the video. The first hike takes you through the beautiful country on the west side of the Crystal Range and the west side of Desolation Wilderness up to Twin Lakes, a very stunning alpine lake. Take the Wrights Lake Road off Highway 50 up to Wrights Lake, and then take the little side road a mile to the Twin Lakes trailhead. From the trailhead, it's about a 5-mile hike up about 1,000 feet of climbing on a good well-marked trail. Starts out in beautiful meadow country right down by Wrights Lake, and you'll notice no problems with the trail conditions through this forest. Then you're going to go up along grade. There's a lot of walking on sheets of granite and some rocky stretches and some creek crossings. This is one of my favorite creek crossings right up near the lake itself. Goes through a little swamp right here. With a beautiful view of some of the small lakelets near Twin Lakes. And then, with the Crystal Range as a backdrop, you'll come out onto Twin Lakes itself. There is about 1,000 feet of elevation going on this hike, but it's well worth it and it's quite doable. The next hike is a famous one. It starts at Carson Pass near the Carson Pass Information Center and is about a 5-mile round trip down to Winnemucca Lake to see some of the best wildflower displays in the Sierra. You can't get lost on this trail. It's a straight shot to Winnemucca Lake. Happy hikers are heading for the trailhead. It's up a little high, but the trail is in excellent shape. You only climb 600 feet, no rough spots at all, so it's very popular with all kinds of folks. This well-graded trail will take you through beautiful wildflower displays until you reach Lake Winnemucca at the end below Round Top Peak. It is a little high. The elevation averages close to 9,000 feet the whole way, so if elevation bothers you, that might be a consideration, but it's not going to press you in terms of big grades. We've reached Lake Winnemucca. And that is Round Top Peak in the background. Our third hike is a 6-mile hike leaving Highway 89 south of Lake Tahoe for Round Lake. As you can see, it's a great fall hike for aspen colors. It's part of the Tahoe Rim Trail, and if you were really ambitious, you could eventually end up at Carson Pass. The trail does climb 1,200 feet, but it's a very well graded trail, no tricky parts, and the elevation is moderate at about 7,600 feet most of the way. We're here at Round Lake, south of Lake Tahoe. Round Lake is very pretty, and if you're so inclined, you can always take a side trail about a mile or so that goes over to Dardanelles Lake. Our longest trail is the old Tahoe Yosemite Trail up towards Lake Genevieve. Park at the Meeks Bay Trailhead right on 89. It's nearly 9 miles long, but well worth the walk. You climb about 1,200 feet, but trail conditions are excellent and you're relatively low elevation. You probably average about 6,800 feet most of the way. There are a couple of slightly rocky grades, but the trail is easy to follow, so it's quite doable. We've reached the first of the Talent Lakes. This is Lake Genevieve. If you get to Lake Genevieve and you feel a bit ambitious, there are two more lakes just up the trail in the next couple of miles. You can go to Crag Lake, and if you go beyond that, you can get to Stony Ridge Lake. Hike 5 will take you to the best view in Desolation Wilderness, the view of the Crystal Range across Lake Aloha. Now you're going to start from Echo Lakes, but my suggestion is you take the boat taxi all the way to the end of the lakes. That'll save you a 2-mile walk and leave you with a round trip of only 7 miles to get to Lake Aloha. Your trail is going to be the Pacific Crest Trail, very well graded. The first 1.5 miles after Echo Lakes is the only tricky part. While well graded, it's a bit rocky. Take a look at the rocks in these pictures here. There is Tamarack Lake. Just after some great views of Tamarack Lake, you'll hit the top of the grade, and from then on, you've got a really good trail all the way to Aloha. You've come quite a ways, but here it is, Lake Aloha. And there it is, 8,000-foot Lake Aloha with the 10,000-foot Crystal Range just behind. For extra credit, add a mile to your return hike and visit Lake of the Woods. Our route will be over that ridge called Poopot Hill and then back down to the PCT and down to Echo Lake. Our final hike is a short one, only about 3.5 miles, but it packs a punch in terms of scenic views because it's the approach trail to Horsetail Falls. We'll start at the Twin Bridges trailhead on Highway 50 and then follow the trail to the base of the falls. The trail goes along Pyramid Creek and there's lots and lots of waterfalls and cascades all the way up the valley. We'll follow the trail until we reach the famous Cabin-Size Rock. Beautiful little spot along Pyramid Creek. Unfortunately, the Calder fire 3 years ago really got into this area and burned a lot of the forest. We've reached the Cabin-Size Rock. This is the top of the lower part of the hike. Beyond here, it's talus slopes 1,000 feet to the top. It does. I don't recommend climbing up the 800-foot talus slope to the top of the falls. It's pretty rough unless you know what you're doing and there's no real maintained trail. But if you do go up to the top, the braided streams at the top of the falls are one of the wondrous hidden gems of the Desolation Wilderness. So this hike ends, as all the others do. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you have a good time exploring these 6 Tahoe area hikes.